Her mother's laugh was the first thing I heard. Light, effortless, cruel in a way she didn't intend. I was tightening the last bolt beneath the sink when my wife lifted her phone, switched to the front camera, and angled it toward her face. I didn't look up. I didn't need to. I could hear everything from the shadows of the hallway. "Don't worry," she said, brushing her hair behind her ear. "I'm just having fun. I'd never actually get pregnant for a mechanic." A pause. Her mother's chuckle scraped across my nerves. "He's just my test run husband." The words slid out of her so casually she didn't even check the room, didn't even scan the background of her own camera feed. I caught a glimpse of myself reflected in the microwave door. Still, small, a ghost she forgot to remember. I didn't interrupt. I didn't ask. I didn't breathe. I felt something inside me detach. Not break, no. Breaking implies sound. This was silent. A thread, quietly snipped. I wiped my hands on a rag, folded it once, set it on the counter, and started packing my tools. While she kept talking, while her mother kept laughing, while my world rearranged itself without a single tremor on my face. I carried the toolbox past her as she leaned against the counter, still on the call, still oblivious. She didn't see the tension in my jaw, the rigid calm in my shoulders. Her mother didn't see the man walking behind her daughter, the one who had stopped feeling anything. I slipped my boots on. Slow, precise. Her mother asked something, some joke about keeping him busy so he doesn't suspect. They both laughed as though the punchline wasn't cutting into the man standing 10 feet away. I stepped outside. The door clicked behind me like the final punctuation on a chapter I hadn't realized I'd already finished. Shock didn't hit me, not the way people describe it. No explosion, no shaking hands, just clarity, cold and absolute. A recognition of something that had been rotting quietly beneath the surface for a long time. The late nights, the girls' trips with no photos, the sudden interest in locking her phone, the way she talked to me like I was temporary, a test run, for her, not for me. I walked to the truck and sat in the driver's seat as though it belonged to a different life. For a moment I waited for a flicker of denial, some refusal to accept what I'd heard. Nothing came, just the growing certainty that I had slipped out of a role she thought I would play forever. The dependable placeholder, the fool. The next few days moved slowly, purposefully. I didn't confront her. Confrontation gives people time to perform, to twist, to manipulate. I preferred truth, quiet truth. She texted that night asking where I was. I said I needed air. She didn't press. That was answer enough. The next morning I checked her tablet, the one synced to her cloud account, the one she forgot I fixed last year. Messages, photos, deleted conversations that weren't quite deleted. A name I didn't recognize. A set of heart emojis used too often. A conversation with a man whose job title she'd mocked the moment we met. Mechanic. I scrolled and felt nothing. No anger, no sadness, just data points arranging themselves into a perfectly logical equation. I pulled phone records. Quietly, methodically. Patterns emerged. Late calls, shared locations, hotel receipts under her email. Each detail fit too neatly. I wasn't unraveling a mystery. I was documenting a truth she assumed I'd never search for. That was her mistake. By the third night, I had everything. Every timestamp, every message, every lie. Still, I said nothing. Not yet. Suspense is a blade best sharpened by patience. Her mother called me the next morning, confident, entitled, curious. "Did you forget her weekly allowance?" she asked, not even attempting to hide the irritation. "She says it hasn't entered." Allowance? That word alone confirmed more than any file I had opened. I didn't answer her question. I simply said, "I'll stop by the house today." When I arrived, she was at the kitchen table scrolling through her phone. She looked up with a mix of confusion and annoyance, as if I was late to a scheduled performance in her one-woman play. I set a folder on the table, a thin one, only the essentials. Her eyes skimmed the first page. She froze. Her breath hitched. Her face drained. Her fingers trembled against the paper. I sat across from her, silent. No accusations, no yelling, no begging for explanations. Just calm observation, the kind she never learned to fear until now. She whispered, "You checked?" I didn't blink. I verified. She tried to speak, excuses, stutters, half-formed lies trying to push air through her throat. None survived long enough to matter. Her world collapsed in real time. Mine didn't. I stood. She reached for my arm. I stepped back. Rejection hit her harder than the evidence. "You're just walking away?" she asked, voice cracking. "No," I said quietly. "I walked away the moment you called me a test run. This is just the moment you realize it." Her expression twisted into panic. The mechanic wasn't stability, he was entertainment. She wanted her safety net, not the truth staring back at her. I left the folder on the table, my final gift. Copies had already been emailed to her mother, along with a message, "The allowance ends today." By the time her mother called, back-to-back, frantic calls, I was already in my truck, engine running, street fading behind me. Her mother's empire of financial expectations collapsed in the same breath as her daughter's illusion of control. Cold, precise, clean. Revenge doesn't need volume, just timing. I drove until the city shrank behind me. No anger followed, no grief chased me. Only a quiet, steady certainty that I had stepped out of someone else's narrative and back into my own. She had tested me. She forgot that tests produce results, and results have consequences. I didn't look back at the house, or the city, or the life I had outgrown without realizing it. Some truths don't shatter you, they free you. The final line of my old life closed with a whisper. I was never the test. She was.